I was sternly warned by Prabhu not to get too esoteric. I don't want to ruffle anyone's feathers. But at the same time, I also feel that Vyasa Puja is a time to speak from the heart. Although, by my appearance, you see my dirty bead bag, Aindra's famous dirty bead bag. Prabhu said Krishna consciousness means a clean bead bag. So sometimes devotees wonder why Aindra's always keeping a dirty bead bag. But actually, it's to remind me that I'm not as Krishna conscious as I may think I am. Please forgive me, this is my kind of madness, but as a Vyasa Puja offering, I would at least like to say that Srila Prabhupada is the greatest revolutionary that I've ever known. He's a revolutionary, and he's endeavored in many ways to try to inspire us to accept this principle of eternal revolution. Krishna consciousness is a revolution of consciousness. It's a change of heart. Although externally, for preaching, things are also important, that we have to manifest a certain preaching demeanor. But at the same time, we should understand that in truth, Krishna consciousness is more of an internal cultivation of the reality of our eternal relationship with Krishna. And that eternal relationship with Krishna also necessitates the step-by-step gradual realization of our eternal relationship with our eternal spiritual master. So, although, as Hari Prabhu was nicely pointing out, that for most of us, what is the Antara Swarup of Srila Prabhupada, it may not be clear to us yet. Prabhupada is told that people should not speculate about the eternal rasa of the spiritual master, but he should serve the spiritual master as Acharya. He should see him as Acharya and follow his example. We all know that Srila Prabhupada is called as Rupanuga. We are Prabhupada Nugas, and Prabhupada always adamantly claimed himself to be a Rupanuga. So that means that in our Sarak Deha, we should follow in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami. It is essential that we uphold the standards of sadhana practices of devotional service. But it is also essential that we simultaneously yearn, hope for the revelation of the truth of the internal Swarup of Rupa Goswami, of our predecessor Acharyas, and also of our own spiritual master. Interestingly enough, it should be understood that Krishna consciousness is multifaceted. There's oneness in diversity. It is not all one. When we say Rupanugas, it doesn't necessarily mean that we will all be followers of Srimati Rupa Manjari, per se. But because every individual soul will be having an individual relationship with Krishna, so that Krishna Shakti, it has its diverse Avesha manifestations. Just like Vyasa Prabhu was pointing out, that Krishna was, Prabhupada is seen as Shakti Avesh avatar. He is seen as Swamiji, he's seen as Guru, and he's seen as avatar, Shakti Avesh avatar. But Shakti Avesh avatar doesn't necessarily imply that there's only one tattva involved, but rather there's multifaceted tattvas. Guru is representative of Krishna, and Krishna is Akila Rasamrita Sindhu Murti. He can manifest and reciprocate the desires of various living entities or various disciples according to their capacity for service, their service aptitude. So Srila Prabhupada also is capable and fit, he's most fit to manifest the Sarup to the sincere disciple according to the disciple's necessity. We should aspire for this. It is not that we should be complacent with a humdrum type of, let's say, goings on in our Krishna consciousness, that only to serve the preaching mission in an external way will suffice. Srila Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita very clearly states in one purport that realization of our eternal relationship with Krishna, meaning our eternal rasa with Krishna, that will greatly enhance our preaching. So everyone is thinking how to enhance our preaching work, but this much we should also take into consideration, that how desperate are we for self-realization. We want to represent our spiritual master. Earlier in the introductory reading about the meaning of Vyasa Puja, there was given this idea that it is a holistic event. It is a holistic affair. In that, I'm assuming that what he really means to say is that united we stand, divided we fall. Prabhupada gave the example that if there's one stick, it can easily be broken, but if it's bound together like a bundle, then it's very difficult to break that bundle of sticks. Yet even though this is correct, still it should be understood that the society of devotees is made up of individuals. We should never neglect this individual responsibility. Individual doesn't mean independently thoughtful in the sense that we are independent of the indications and instructions of the spiritual master, but it means individually, personally thoughtful about our progress to the ultimate goal of our life, which is Krishna Prema, which has its Sarup. We have to take into consideration when that day will come, when our spiritual master will be so merciful and kind that he will reveal that Sarup to us, which is befitting our eternal relationship with him. So we should be very diligent to search it out up to this in all circumstances. Kamasya na indriya priti, labho jivita yavata, jivasya tattva jigyasa, na artho yasceha karmati. Na artho yasceha karmati means that there should be no other goal to any of our activities, day or night,
Our every breath should be dedicated to the realization of our eternal relationship with our spiritual master. And in an effort to realize that, we go on pushing on the preaching mission of our spiritual master as an instrument in the hands of the predecessor archarges. But it is so much important that we don't neglect the internal cultivation of our eternal relationship with Krishna. One time Srila Prabhupada told that it is not that we simply offer any damn flower to the deity. Sometimes we see that the pujari, he just throws any damn bunch of flowers on the arti tray. If you're there for Mangal Arti, many times we see this, that what you will receive, we're happy to receive whatever little prasadam we can get. But at the same time, our heart breaks to see that we are so thoughtless in our culture of devotional life. We have no baba. If we have no baba, then how can we expect that Krishna will reciprocate? Why not have the baba? Baba is not a difficult thing. We think that it is very difficult. It progresses in stages from Shraddha to Prema. So baba is the preliminary stage of love of Godhead. But just as Harisari was saying, I think I'm remembering it was you, that whether or not we love our spiritual master, whether or not we have any love for Krishna, it has to have its beginning. If we don't start now to love our spiritual master, to love Krishna, to think in terms of how to please Krishna, what will please Krishna the most, what will please our Guru the most, and live our life in those terms. This is the essence of this principle of Jigyasu Sreya Uttamam. Tasmad Gurum Prapadeta Jigyasu Sreya Uttamam Sabdet Parechanisnatam. This principle of Jigyasu Sreya Uttamam. Tasmad Gurum Prapadeta Jigyasu Sreya Uttamam Sabdet Parechanisnatam Brahmanya Pashamashritam. This Jigyasu Sreya Uttamam, this Jivasya Tattva Jigyasu, this Atattva Brahma Jigyasu, to inquire about what is our eternal relationship with Krishna. It begins Jivara Swarup Hoy Krishna Nityadas, but this is a vague concept. We have to deepen our understanding. Not that we offer any damn flowers to Krishna, but with Baba, Prabhupada says that you pick out the most beautiful flower and you think that how Krishna will be satisfied with this beautiful flower. This is Baba. Prabhupada says this is Baba. This is called Bab Seva. There's a difference between Seva and Puja. We should understand this clearly. Seva, this Seva Bhavana, is the beginning of our love for Krishna. The beginning of our love for our spiritual master. To serve Krishna nicely for the pleasure of our spiritual master. Not that it becomes a burden. Not that our spiritual master has left us with a burden and now we have to drag along this burden. No. But that our spiritual master has given us the quintessence, what is it? Quintessence, excuse me, of the sweetness of the loving relationship with Krishna, and it will be gradually realized in increments if we start now. If we don't start now,
if I'm not feeling enthused in Krishna consciousness, then maybe I should come and join such and such party on the other side of town. So I had to say to him, is there any reason why I shouldn't feel enthused in Krishna consciousness? Krishna is always accessible. My Guru is always accessible. The instructions of my spiritual master are always accessible. Krishna is all attractive. Krishna's Swarup Shakti is also all attractive, as Krishna is also all attractive. and as Shakti-Avesh. My Guru is also all attractive. His instructions are all attractive. There's no reason why I shouldn't have everything at my disposal to be attracted to the lotus feet of Krishna. This ISKCON movement is complete. We should never neglect this point. We should never misunderstand under some illusion and bewilderment that we don't have all the facilities for complete perfection at the feet of Srila Prabhupada in this ISKCON movement. This ISKCON movement is complete because everything is here. If you want it to have complete perfection, you can have it because Srila Prabhupada is dying to give us that thing. He wants to give us that. But he wants to see who is receptive. Who wants to get that thing? Who wants the eternal relationship with Krishna? Or who wants to be satisfied with love, puja, and pratishtha, and various other grosser manifestations of material consciousness in the name of Krishna consciousness? You can have all perfection. There's no doubt. Srila Prabhupada will give you all perfection. From him, everything is coming. It is not limited to the words written on a book. It is a heart's affair between the sincere disciple and the spiritual master. When the spiritual master is satisfied with the service attitude of the disciple, never mind what service. He may be the smallest pot watcher. He may be the biggest guru or GPC man. These are all menial services at the feet of our spiritual master. There's no higher and lower service on the absolute platform. They're all menial services. When he's seen that we've actually taken up the menial service attitude, then he understands that we've actually come to the realization of Krishna Nityadas. Then he reveals more than the vague concept of the thing. He becomes satisfied. And by the satisfaction of the spiritual master, from a heart to a heart, he reveals everything to you. There's no doubt. It is quite possible. It's a question of the desire. By desire, we come into this material world. And by desire, we get out of the material world. If you have a pinch of desire for material gratifications, however subtle it may be, Krishna is so kind, Srila Prabhupada said, that he'll give you another chance to fulfill that material desire by awarding you another material body with which to pursue that paltry sense gratification. Krishna says that you value this pinch of material desire so much that you cannot give it up for someone as beautiful and wonderful as me. Srila Prabhupada is saying practically the same thing. You cannot surrender this pinch of material desire to have an eternal relationship with me and the association of Krishna and his Nitya Parikar. You want that pinch of material desire so badly? He said, okay, so you can have it. I'm not so cheap that I give myself so easily. Just like the gopis. I'm not going to get too esoteric. Just like the gopis, they went through painstaking, arduous practices of Raganuga Savan Bhakti in their previous lives. Some of them at the sages of Dandakaranya. You know the story. Everyone knows. 5 kalpas it took them to finally be granted admittance into the Bhoma Lila of Krishna by taking their birth from the wombs of gopis. Yet still, although they had attained Sarup Siddhi in their previous lifetime, still not all of them had sufficient adhikar to enter into the Ras Mandal and dance with Krishna in the Rasa dance.
they did not have sufficient purvarag. You know what is purvarag? Purvarag means the anxiety, the anticipation, the hope, the intense greed to meet with Krishna, the intense desire to go to meet with Krishna. They did not have that sufficiently. They were not awarded their vastu siddhi. They did not have spiritual bodies yet. Some of them had, and they were able to go. Because it's individual. This point is an individual affair. Some of them were locked into their rooms, and some of them were able to go. The point is that in the ultimate issue, everyone has to fly his own plane. That doesn't mean that we don't take advantage while we're on the ground of the association of our God brothers. We don't take shiksha. We don't take good advices, good instruction to help us to gather strength and to get direction in our cultivation of Krishna consciousness. But at the time of death, when we're flying in formation, no other plane can help you. You have to know how to fly your plane. It's not enough that we pan off, we pass the buck of responsibility to the rest of the society. The society will save us. But individually, we all have to become Krishna conscious. Individually, we all have to take the responsibility, and individually, we all have to be prepared for revolution. We have to be prepared to change. So, my only request is that the basic underlying gist of all of this. Please forgive me if I've taken too much time, or if I've said anything which appears to be against the siddhanta of our predecessor acharyas. But my only request is that it may be that we have to individually, but we can individually do it together. We require good association. It's not enough to blame the others for being bad association. Anyone can do that. Blaming the others for being bad association. Prabhupada is told that we cannot blame anyone except ourselves for our lack of advancement in Krishna consciousness. There's no excuse for not being advanced in Krishna consciousness. It is our duty to be advanced association for the benefit of others. So at least we should try for it to our utmost for the satisfaction of Srila Prabhupada. So let that be my yes.